Welcome to Musings Television, where your host, Fabian, invites you to bloom with a new perspective that will encourage, uplift, and inspire. Here he is with today's musings.
Good morning, world. I'm coming to you live from the Kingston Harbour on this very quiet but bright Sunday morning. How are you? Where's the airport? The airport is in the background somewhere there in the distance. Where is it? Is it this side? No, it's that side. You can barely see it. But it's over there. So it dawned on me, because I had to make an early run to the airport this morning to drop my aunt off as she returns to New York. And it dawned on me while I was coming back from the airport that I have never in my 40 years of life been here at the Kingston Harbour. I have never walked along the boardwalk, so to speak, of the harbour. I've been as close as to driving on the road there, to the conference centre, to the Bank of Jamaica behind me, and places Digicel down the road across the street. I've been to all these places. There's the airport over there. If you can see, well, I can't even zoom it in the distance. Yeah, but I've never been to the waterfront to say, have a seat and take in the scenery that is the 7th largest natural harbour in the world, in Kingston, Jamaica. So it's the first time that I'm actually in this space like this, because I've never. So I'm walking along the stretch. It clearly needs some repairs. I'm sure it has weathered many storms. I'm walking towards, what's this renovated place called again? The name evades me now, but it's right there along the harbour, where you have several eateries such as Gloria's, among others. But it's quiet in these parts. I think it's blocked off here because of this property, so I'd have to go out to the other side and rejoin the walk from the other side. Morning. I can't come out just ago. Go under the barrier. I didn't know that it had been blocked off like this to get to the other side. Morning. Yeah. Morning.
Blessed, bro.
Yeah. So this is loose cannon. No, this is loose cannon. They have loose cannon tours? Okay. I didn't know that. So this is downtown, the waterfront. This is... I forgot what the place name, you know. But it's downtown anyway, on the harbour. So you can get Devon House ice cream, Gloria's on the other side, smoothies. And everything you can get here. And this is the old hotel that is there renovating. I'm sure at some point that will open up. But yeah, this is my first time actually walking, not walking downtown, but actually taking in the harbour itself. Because I've never done it before. Can I walk across the lawn? But I need to try and get the harbour over this, so I walk across it. Yeah. So they are actually building and extending the boardwalk, so to speak, beyond the BOJ side to the fishing village end. But certainly from the look of things on this side, it is also in need of some repairs. You can see that the concrete is leaving the steelwork and the steelwork is now being exposed. So I hope when they are through with that side, they will come over here and give over this side a facelift and make it more appealing, so to speak, more reflective of how you'd want this space to look. It's in the capital city, and we have here what is the 7th largest natural harbour in the world. Sure, it should be really almost like a tourist attraction, but as it stands now, it needs some repair to reflect the beauty that is Jamaica. But here I am, walking along the harbour, something I have never done before in my 40 years of life. And that is so inimical of us. A lot of us, I think, like myself, we live in a country that others come and they explore and will know so much more or see so much more of the nook and crannies of our country, whilst we are here. And oftentimes it doesn't cost us anything to do, because this doesn't cost me anything to do. It's open to the public. You can come and you can walk and take in the sights. But oftentimes we don't explore our own country for one reason or the other. So this morning I decided I'd just stop, having come into the realization that I have never done this before, and just take it in. I don't need to rush back home. It's now what? 12 minutes to 7 in the morning. So why not just take it in? Taking the harbour, the Kingston Harbour. Yep. Morning. People are fishing. Morning. I don't want to catch anybody in my shot, so I've turned it away from the boardwalk, so to speak. Fishermen, or maybe shift fishermen. Morning. So it's quite a nice stretch, but as I say, it's the first time being here. You recognize that the infrastructure has weathered some storms and is in need of a facelift. And again, what can one take from that? As you know, this channel is aimed at offering encouragement, inspiration and upliftment. It is clear from the infrastructure that the place has weathered some storms, right? But even in having weathered some storms, it hasn't lost its beauty, its aura. It still stands. It is still standing, even though it has weathered some storms. Morning. And I think that also is inimical of our lives. Many of us will weather many storms in our lives, yet we will keep standing. Morning. And we are still standing. And we're still standing because likely our foundation, like that of this Kingston Waterfront boardwalk, is solidly grounded and well built. Otherwise, if that was not the case, the many storms that it has weathered, that you have weathered, that I will and have weathered, would have taken us down. But it hasn't. And we remain standing, spite of the odds and everything that we have gone through and been through. If you look at these concrete pillars which you see lying here, you might recognize that by virtue of the weathering that they have gone through and the number in their years, the concrete, which one could argue uncovered the skeletal, which is the steel here. The skeletal of the structure is now exposed. And inanimate as this object is, solidified, made of material that has been given by the earth. Many times, as we weather the storms of life, our skeleton, in a sense, like the steel that holds or helps to hold the structure of this pillar together in terms of the concrete that would have been poured thereon, will become exposed. Will become exposed to the elements. But we can recognize in this structure that while it has weathered many storms, it is still a force that cannot be easily moved, still has its matter, and is still solidified. And it sits there, prepared, no doubt, for the many more storms to come. For many years and possibly decades to come. So as I walk this boardwalk on the Kingston Waterfront, and as I observe the weathering that it has gone through since it has been built and placed here. Here we are at the Digicel head office along the Kingston Waterfront. I think it ends here, because there we have the marine boat, where the boats are, the marine police, etc. So the walk really ends here. But as we recognize the weathering of the boardwalk this morning, let us also recognize the weathering that we have gone through, and many of us will continue to go through, in as long as we are sustained in the land of the living. But our weathering adds texture to our lives. It tests how strong we are, how fortified we are. It's evidenced by the weathering that this structure has gone through, and yet still it stands, and possibly will stand for generations to come. But I'm sure at some point that the powers that be, having recognized the need to maintain, to come and do some repairs to this structure, that they will do so. Because again, in our own lives, as we weather the storms of lives, there are times when we will need, after the storm has passed, to do some repairs. Some repairs on the physical structure, which is our body. Like a patient who is sick, who goes to the doctor for medicine. Alright, so too it is that as the storms of life hit us, we too will need to regroup and repair our structure, to fortify our structure some more, so that we are able to stand and go on like the Kingston Waterfront, the boardwalk at the Kingston Waterfront. So on this Sunday morning, I trust that these words, as we look away, airport in the distance, the tower from the Kingston Waterfront, and as we listen to the calm stillness of the waters in the harbour below, I pray that your Sunday morning is as peaceful, as still, as quiet as the waters of the Kingston Harbour. That this Sunday morning you are experiencing peace of mind, peace of body, and likely peace of soul. That this Sunday morning, if you are weathering any storm in your life, that like these pillars that sit on the ground of the Kingston Harbour, resplendent and solid, even though showing signs of wear and tear, even though the skeletal of its structure is being exposed and is breaking away, that this morning, in spite of the wear and tear, in spite of the skeletal being exposed, that you will find inspiration in the fact that you are still standing, that you still exist, that you remain immovable. And unlike this pillar, weathered, exposed as it is, that you, unlike the pillar who has to wait on somebody to come and dress it up to cover its exposed skeletal, that you, unlike the pillar, have the power this morning to move into action, to do what you must, to repair your own skeleton that is exposed from the weathering of life. That you can find inspiration in the fact that even though the structure is showing signs of wear and tear, that it is still a force to be reckoned with. It's not easily moved, which means that its foundation is solid and secure and has not been undermined. I hope that this morning your foundation has not been undermined, and that you will remain a solid force to be reckoned with, a solid force that will stand the test of time, a solid force that, like the in its stillness this morning, will experience peace in the midst of your storms. So, from the Kingston Harbour in Kingston, Jamaica, where for the first time I have taken the time to experience what it is like to walk along the boardwalk of the harbour. May you be inspired to get out and do more, to see more of your country. If you're a Jamaican, to see more of Jamaica. And wherever you reside, to see more of your country. To do the things that you have never done. And experience that which it has to offer and to bring to you. That's a seagull soaring across the harbour. Au revoir. Check out my brand. Have you had your vaccine? As yet, by the way, I can say I'm fully vaccinated. So, I come in with my vaccinated body. And it's by Affirmation Couture. And that's my brand. To new beginnings, we say, from the Kingston Harbour. Digicel. So be sure to drop a comment. Let me know what, if anything, you found encouraging, inspiring, and uplifting about my musing this morning from the Kingston Harbour. And I invite you to follow the page at Affirmation Couture on Instagram, where you can see what the brand has to offer. And you can visit our store on jamgora.com if you are interested in making a purchase. You can also support by buying a copy of Musings of the Mind, Prose to Encourage, Inspire and Uplift, which is now available on Amazon.com in all countries. And read, be encouraged, be inspired, be uplifted, and share any feedback that you have by sending me an email to affirmationcouture@outlook.com. Until next time, take care as you continue to weather your storms, and always remain solid in the midst of your weathered structure. Continue to remain solid and to secure the foundation, which is you. Blessings and have a good one.
There you have it, this week's Musings. We hope you found it encouraging, inspiring, and uplifting. Let Fabian know your thoughts by leaving a comment on this video. Do spread the word and invite others to subscribe to Musings Television. Until next week, may your hearts remain ever joyful.